A great vengeance plot is nothing without some betrayal faced by the main character from someone he holds very dear that he never anticipated. That very betrayal becomes the fuel for his character development and he makes a comeback by becoming 10x stronger. But that requires a lot of crying, pulling the hair, losing the mind and then coming back stronger. The thing which they don't teach you in the motivational stories. Our badass MCs will not hesitate kicking some ass to take revenge, protect someone or kill someone even just to survive. The theme of revenge is pretty interesting because we get to see very fragile human emotions and how they entirely change a person from zero to a hero. And hence, today we are going to look over top 10 best animes where our main character gets betrayed or hurt in some way and now he seeks revenge for it. So, without any further ado, let's start with our video. On the 10th number, the anime name is Record of Grand Crest War. Grand Crest Senki was a magnificent political drama that I enjoyed watching to the end. Both story and the setting were excellently crafted and character development was very well done. The anime poses deep ethical questions on the morality of decisions made for other people instead of the oneself. The ending is rather abrupt, but it still provides a wonderful conclusion to the 24-episode series. Grand Crest follows the duo of Theo and Silica on their quest to investigate rapid political changes in the interest of the common folks. They find themselves with many allies and many enemies who mostly all will play a vital role in the conclusion. Explaining more than this will spoil too many vital components of the plot for the viewers to truly enjoy the experience. The majority of the characters in this show are portrayed to have a strict moral guidelines that they will follow. Each major character is given enough screen time for the viewers to understand the motivations and goals that they hope to achieve from that conflict. On the 9th number, the anime name is Akatsuki no Yona. Rare is the series that introduces a seemingly weak and sheltered female lead who undergoes great tragedy only to come out fierce and respectable at the end after the most well-paced development I have ever seen. Were that not enough, that we are also blessed with a delightful supporting cast of varied and sometimes unexpected characters. The story is about three childhood friends who have grown up, and the first one is the young princess named Yona. The second one is a young man who later becomes the bodyguard of Yona and a general in the army, whose name is Hak. And then the third one is a handsome man named Soo-won, who Yona is madly in love with. Yona has arguments with her father, the king, about Soo-won and her desires to marry her, but her father rejects the idea while Hak encourages it. On the night of her 16th birthday, she goes to her father to try and convince him on one more time to let her marry Soo-won. But she finds that her father has been assassinated, and the only one in that room other than her and her now dead father was her lover Soo-won. Now on the run, Hak and Yona must escape the forces of the old kingdom and find a way to take down their former childhood friend. On the 8th number, the anime name is Dimension W. Calling Dimension W another stereotypical sci-fi action flick would be injustice, as the series explores quite a bit based on its premise. The story takes place in its fictional world in the future. By 2071, humanity begin using a source of energy that can last forever for their planet. Through the influence of the fourth dimension, they are able to harness energy in the form of objects known as coils. Coils are manufactured by New Tesla, an energy company that uses them for profit. However, there are also private firms and groups that use illegal coils for their own purposes. The show introduces Kyoma, a collector who has a hatred for the coils. His adventure takes him to all sorts of places, including his meeting with a peculiar robot girl Mira. Get the picture here, right? Any fan of sci-fi should feel intrigued because of the amount of world building with this show. Indeed, Dimension W does a good job by building up its fictional world and constructing its concepts with an interesting detail. The imaginary setting of Dimension W introduces many concepts, including its rich history, society, and technological advancements. As such, getting into this show allows the viewers to appreciate the ideas of the creator. On the 7th number, the anime name is Redo of Healer. This is the reason why many non-anime watchers generalize anime with lollies, boobs and furries. I say that because many shows pull this off very poorly, but this show doesn't. Words cannot describe just how amazing this show is. It has everything one would ask for in the anime, but with the best and the unique execution out there. The story is about a man called Kearu who is a healing hero. His healing abilities are very OP, but they come with a great cost. It causes him a great amount of pain. Kearu is imprisoned, raped, tortured and drugged, becoming addicted to this drug and losing his sense of self. He is continuously abused and forced to heal others, feeling the pain of his healing causes. In the end, all these factors drives him crazy, making him strive for the vengeance. He gains immunity to the drugs and gets his senses back. He is later taken with a party to defeat the Demon King. Kearu defeats the Demon King with ease and obtains the Philosopher's Stone. He reverses the time back 4 years and starts seeking his revenge for all the things that other people have done to him. On the 6th number, the anime name is Arifurata. Hajime Nagumo is a high schooler that is transported to another world alongside his entire classroom. And unlike Kirito, who has resolve and skills from to get go and is playing with a fake virtual body, Nagumo is a easily forgettable youth with no backbone. He dealt with a bad hand upon reaching the fantasy world, whose skills upon arrival to the new world can only work on groups, as he is basically a glorified blacksmith that isn't a sorceress, a healer or even an attacker. And of course, he is risking his life and limbs on his real body on the floor clearing system like SAO. But instead of going up, the higher floors go underground. By all accounts, a blacksmith has no business on the battlefield and is usually in some shop in the safety of town. One day on a mission for simple jealousy for a girl, a male classmate hides a magic shot among the shots meant for the creature they are fighting to, and that shot hits Hajime Nagumo, sending him several floors down by himself alone with terrifying monsters in a lot of darkness. While not the splash everyone anticipated, it's an anime you will be glad you saw nevertheless. I wouldn't be surprised if the show got a second season. The character dynamics is a sight to behold after all. On the 5th number, the anime name is Chivalry of a Failed Knight. Chivalry of a Failed Knight is an anime set within a world where gifted humans can materialize their souls into weapons which are known as devices, and each device has a unique ability that gives this human incredible power. These gifted humans are known as blazers, and they are equivalent of modern day knights and magicians. These blazers attend various schools around Japan to hone their skills and become strong knights. Then they graduate from these schools and go on to protect Japan from any threat that the world may impose as an official magical knight. In the schools, there is a ranking system based on how talented of a blazer you are, and from lowest to the highest, it goes ranks as F, D, C, B and then A. As you attend the schools every year, there is an annual competition called the 7 Stars Festival, in which blazers from 7 schools all over the country compete in this intense one-on-one matches until one knight is deemed the most powerful blazer in the country. Our main character attends blazer schools in the hopes of proving to everyone around him that through the hard work and determination and winning the 7-Star Festival, even a failure like him can become a knight as powerful as any other. Overall, the plot to this anime is good. It's not too complicated as to where you struggle to understand or to keep up with it, but it's not too vague as to where you are wondering what the anime is about in the first place. It has a clear setting and a clear direction as to where it wants to go, and the main character has a clear goal of what he wants to achieve. On the 4th number, the anime name is Rising of the Shield Hero. Iwatani Naofumi gets sent to another world along with 3 other male characters. Each of them were summoned to fight the waves of calamity in this RPG game-like world, which is a mysterious phenomenon that occurs every so often in the world and warranting the summoning of the 4 Saints hero. The first one is Sword Hero, Bow Hero, Spear Hero and the Shield Hero. As you can guess, Naofumi became Shield Hero, which is known to be the weakest of all the 4. Due to that, when adventurers were asked to join the hero's party to aid them in getting stronger, no one was willing enough to join Naofumi's party. Luckily, a lady by the name of Melromac Malti or Mine was generous enough to join his party. Everything seems good for Naofumi at first. Mine was able to make up for Naofumi's lack of attacking capabilities and help Naofumi to gain a better idea of this world. After their tiring day of killing monsters, both of them went ahead to have a dinner at a pub where Naofumi went to his room to sleep early. However, the next day, he found that his stuff and most of his money are missing before getting approached by guards and was forced to go back to the castle. It was then that it was revealed that Mine has accused Naofumi of rape and was apparently deceiving him the whole time to get his stuff and money and give it to the Spear Hero. Naofumi, though innocent, has no evidence at all, whereas Mine has planted false evidence leading to everyone believing her instead. Now enraged, Naofumi ventures out on a journey alone with the intention of clearing his name and getting revenge on mine. On the third number, the anime name is 91 Days. Angelo's life changes completely on one fateful birthday. His parents and brothers are murdered by mafiosos that his father has ties to. He manages to escape, take on a fake name and learns to survive. 7 years later, he receives a letter from someone claiming to be his father's friend. The letter is unsigned and gives the name of 3 people, supposedly the people who killed his family. With the letter in hand, Angelo returns to the town of Lawless, which is probably entirely fictional, in order to take the violent revenge. The story is now intertwined with a mob wars and intra-family conflicts. You are already fighting off a rival gang who wants your territory, and now there's a large outsider gang joining in as well. Do you fight or do you negotiate for the peace? Everyone in the family has their own opinions on this issue, and they are really vocal about it. That guy who's warming up to the rival gang, is he cowardly traitor or does he think peace is a good option? You see, most of the time the charm of the story lies not in the premise itself but rather in the storytelling. And let me tell you this, that this anime is told in a very grim way, subtly shaping its characters. It is paced well, even though you can probably tell what's going to happen next, you find yourself striving for more. There are a lot of psychological elements, so you need to always keep your eye on catching those little details that makes the story all the more enjoyable. On the second number, the anime name is Dororo. The original Dororo was made in 1967, and I am not that kind of guy who is into remakes. But this has to be a masterpiece of a remake, making its own while still not making it too distant from the original. The story is about a boy whose father gives up on his son's life to demons in order for his kingdom to prosper. Unknown to the father, the boy still lives, but as cursed, missing most of his body parts. The only sense left is his will to fight to get what was taken from him back. The pacing is never rushed, and even subplots to the main plot are very interesting. Each episode brings more depth to the world, giving the viewers a sense of world building. I feel that the atmosphere of this anime fits it perfectly. It gives the audience a sense of dread of what disassociation feels like. None of the topics are taken lightly. Themes on demons with cosmic horror elements are brought into each plot. The show is constantly questioning what it means to be human. Each character is relatable even when you are cheering for Yakimaru. You will also feel bad for the villains at times. This is a world where there is no good or bad, only a will to survive, suiting the timeline of feudal Japan very well. And on the first number, the anime name is Vinland Saga. As the struggle between English and Danes grew worse each passing year, calls for peace has diminished and death became commonplace. In this wake of these times were Vikings, violent raiders who repeatedly spoiled the war and marched to the beat of their drum. Brutal, merciless and unfeeling, they pillaged whoever they pleased and left unknown wreckage behind them. And raised by the band who murdered his father is Thorfinn, a young boy driven by hatred, longing to cut down the one responsible and avenge his past. This is the tale of Vinland Saga, a sprawling epic story by Makoto Yukimura that thrusts you into the world drenched in bloody violence and battle-hungry warriors. Vinland Saga thrives off the dichotomy between Thorfinn and Askeladd, a child's innocence ruined with only vengeance left in its place, and a man that epitomizes what any Viking would want in a leader: strong, intelligent, calculated and charismatic. One wears his dead-end heart on his sleeves, unfazed by the comrades around him and content with watching the world burn, while the other holds a silver tongue and laid-back demeanor, masking his entire desire for influence by any means necessary. Some may be concerned for where the series can go after such an ending of the story, but let me assure you that the Vinland Saga knows what kind of story it's telling, and I will tell you that it is nothing short of remarkable. So, that was for today's video guys, and that was the video about top 10 animes where MC gets betrayed and seeks revenge. Do you have any other animes that I can add in the next part of this list? And how many animes out of this top 10 list have you already watched? Let me know about it in the comment section down below, and if you enjoyed this video then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel because I post daily anime content about top 10 top 5 listings, anime reviews, recommendations, news, theories and all sorts of anime content on daily basis. So if you enjoyed, please subscribe, and that was it, and I will see you in the next one. Sayonara.